G. Williams' relief was palpable, even over the phone. "You just gave us a whole hell of a lot more work," he told Jazz. "But it's the kind of work I can get behind." He shut his eyes and tried to exorcise the ghost of Billy's presence, but the rhythm of the siren somehow merged with Billy's voice and kept howling at him over and over. "I think you don't really care about these people. You won't even know you've crossed the line until it's way back in your rearview mirror. I don't need a protege. I already got one." "Sure you are. You just ain't killed no one yet." Jazz swallowed hard. Maybe that meant he hadn't killed his own mother. Or maybe Billy was just playing with him. He remembered what he told Connie. You show any weakness to a serial killer and they live inside you after that. The sky had gone the hard blue of a new bruise by the time Hanson got back to the police station and sneaked him in through a rear entrance. Jazz checked in with G. William, who was too busy to talk, coordinating a whole new effort to find the impressionist's next victim. So he slipped out through the funeral home to avoid the press and drove home in the Jeep. A great sense of relief washed over him as he drove. He'd done it. He'd bearded the lion, the dragon, in his den and come away not only alive, but with valuable treasure. The information that would stop the impressionist. Jazz felt newly alive, like a whole new human being with a whole new life ahead of him. He noticed something in the center console of the Jeep and reached for it at a red light. It was Jeff Fulton's business card. Jazz thought of Fulton's impassioned speech at Jenny's service inside. Would it really hurt anyone to spend 5 minutes with the guy? Jazz didn't want to establish a precedent for talking to the grieving families of his father's victims. But there was no reason he couldn't show a little kindness to the man. He would call Fulton in the morning. It was something no serial killer would ever do. Something no sociopath would ever imagine doing. Just thinking of it made Jazz feel good. At home, he was surprised to find the crowds of reporters gone. A lone cop still sat in a cruiser in the driveway, and Jazz approached to ask what had happened to the mop. "Tanner sent over a bunch of guys a couple of hours ago. Told everyone you and your grandma were in protective custody because there'd been some threats against you." "Have there been?" "I don't know." The cop was clearly uncomfortable with the whole conversation. "Anyway, everyone cleared out. Welcome home." Jazz went inside and locked up. He checked on Grandma, who was still off in sleepland, maybe dreaming that she was sane. His stomach lurched and rumbled, and he realized he hadn't eaten anything all day. Down in the kitchen, all he could find to eat were some ice cream that had sprouted a fuzz of crystals and 2 sad-looking drumsticks from the bucket of chicken Melissa had brought for Grandma days ago. He settled in at the table with the drumsticks and ate them cold, then scraped the top off the ice cream and ate the stuff underneath, which was stale but edible. As he ate, he stared through the kitchen door into Grandma's backyard. During spring and summer, it was a nightmare of weeds, thistles, and overgrown grass that went on for 2 acres. But now, in autumn, it was just dead and flat all the way out to the tool shed, except for the bird bath. There was nothing special about the bird bath. Cracked concrete base, a sculpted fish at the center, spewing water from its mouth into the basin. In a couple of weeks, it would be too cold for the bird bath, and Jazz would disconnect it from the water line. But right now, it sat there, happily gurgling away, birdless. "So yeah," Billy had said, "I'll help you, Jasper. But you're going to help me too." Then what? Jazz remembered throwing up his hands in frustration. "What do you want?" He got up from the table, dumped the remaining ice cream in the trash, and walked out to the bird bath. "You know that old bird bath my mama's got in her backyard?" Yeah, I know it. What are you—" "Hush and listen, Jasper. I listen to you, now you listen to me. That damn thing, she's had it since I was a kid, and I've been telling her for 40 years. She ain't getting birds in it 'cause she's got it placed wrong." "What? What does this have to do with—" "I said hush and listen, Jasper." For the first time, Billy had seemed agitated, not in control. "Over a bird bath. She's got it oriented to a western exposure. See, it's not getting the morning light, and that's what them birds want. It needs to be moved to the opposite edge of the lawn." I tried getting her to move it, but she never listens, and then she bitches and complains that she don't got no birds to watch during the day. So, Jazz had thought carefully, so in exchange for your help, you what? Want me to convince Grandma to move the... No. I don't want you to convince her of anything. Just move the damn thing. Go when she's asleep and just move it. You know where that big old sycamore sits? Once she sees all her birdie friends, she won't care what you've done. If she complains or asks, just tell her it's always been there. She's already batty like a belfry. She won't remember. And this, Jazz had said with incredulity, is the price of your help? Billy had sighed and placed love over fear. Indulge your old man, Jasper. You're the only one who can take care of my mama while I'm locked up in here. And so Jazz had agreed, and now he stared down at the bird bath. The whole thing was ridiculous. It was insane. So was dear old Dad. Still, Billy was right. Grandma did always complain about the lack of birds for her to watch, and moving the bird bath probably would help. He disconnected the water line and tilted the bird bath. It was lighter than he expected. It looked like the whole thing was made of concrete, but only the base was. It couldn't be as simple as moving it, he thought. Billy must have buried something under it. But when he tilted the bird bath, all he saw underneath was a ring of dead, light brown grass that had been there forever. Well, why not? He grunted and rolled the thing on the edge of its base. It wasn't too heavy for him, but it was unwieldy, so it took him a while to wrestle it into its new position. From here the hose wouldn't reach, so he had to go inside and find a longer hose. He reconnected everything, and the bird bath started burbling again. I guess we'll see what we see in the morning, he said to it. Inside, he caught the tail end of a chime of some sort coming from Hallie's cell phone, which was sitting on the kitchen table. He tapped and poked at the screen until he found a text message from the sheriff. Think we found her. Thanks for your help. GWT. Jazz grinned. Now that the cops had the next victim in their sights, they could sit on her and wait for the killer to show up. Not bad for a day's work. Not bad at all. He went upstairs, tired beyond belief. A note stuck to his computer reminded him that he needed to work on his rebuttal to Melissa Hoover's recommendation. But his sleep-deprived brain couldn't even entertain the idea. Tomorrow, he promised himself. Tomorrow, I'll write it. Take care of everything. Tomorrow. Even though it was still early, he stripped down to his boxers and crawled into bed. For the first time since Fiona Goodling had been found in Harrison's field, he drifted into an untroubled, undreaming sleep.